welcome to Mastering Symbility Tips and Techniques. I'm Ken Robinson, one of the product managers at Symbility Solutions, and I'll be your host today. In this webinar, we will show you how you can save time and improve accuracy by using the Symbility Mobile Claims app on your smartphone or tablet. This webinar kicks off Symbility's Tips and Tricks free webinar series. Watch for new installments each month to learn about Symbility products. Today's presentation will be recorded and will be available for viewing afterwards on SymbilitySolutions.com. There will also be a question and answer session following the presentation, so please type your questions into the chat panel and direct them to me, Ken Robinson. If you have not already done so, please mute your telephones now. Today's presenter is our Senior Product Specialist at Symbility Solutions, Scott Weens. Take it away, Scott.
Thanks, Ken, and hello to everybody from Symbility. We are so glad you took the time to join us for the next 30 minutes to learn more about the Symbility Mobile Claims app and how it's going to save you time to work your claims. What we're going to do today is we're going to first talk a little bit about an overview of the Mobile Claims app and the key features. I'm going to show you some detailed slides about that. Then we're going to actually do a presentation of those features, and then we're going to jump into some questions if we have time. As Ken already mentioned, because we only have 30 minutes, I'm going to go through the presentation and demonstration to begin with, and then we will, of course, time permitting, take questions at the end. Just send those questions, as Ken said, via the chat option to Ken Robinson during the presentation, and we are going to get to as many as possible. All right, does it sound good? Well, excellent. Then let's go ahead and get started. The first thing I want to do, though, is ask a question. And it's a question I imagine some of you may have already thought about. And that question is, why should I use the Symbility Mobile Claims app on my smartphone or my tablet? Well, you know, it's a valid question. As adjusters, we have developed work patterns and routines to maximize our time and to be the most efficient, and getting out of that routine, frankly, well, it's threatening, isn't it? Getting out of the routine can sometimes cause us more time and effort. And listen, I get it. I've been an adjuster and I understand. I had a certain way of doing things, and I actually got to be pretty efficient. However, you and I have to remember that technology that we use today in our current claims handling process was new at some time. The adjusters back then had to do what we're asking you to do, and that is step out and adopt that new technology, even though it took them out of their routines. You know, when we think about the old ways we do things, can some of you recall some of the old ways? Do any of you remember handwriting estimates? How about taking pictures with a Polaroid camera or even a 35mm camera? Do you remember the time it took and the cost involved to develop those pictures? We can't even think about going back to those days. Well, I'm going to ask you to consider that as you watch today's webinar. Today, technology has advanced, and many of our Symbility Mobile Claims users are already experiencing the benefits of changing their, quote, old ways by harnessing the Mobile Claims app. That's why we're doing this webinar. So I'm going to go back to our original question as to why you should consider using the Mobile Claims app. And I'd like to propose that there are a few key reasons. Really, the three primary focuses is the fact that time savings, the simplicity of use, and the cost effectiveness. If you look here on this slide, we have some bullet points here. Optimize form and photo handling. I'm going to show you how you can do that through the mobile app. The fact that you can simplify room measurements by easily creating diagrams with your mobile device. And cost effective. The Symbility Mobile Claims smartphone app is free for current subscribers, and if you choose to use the Magic Plan option, it's a very nominal fee of only $2 per claim. These are the reasons that we really believe that you're going to find great advances in your estimating, your habits and your routines by utilizing this system. So, with that, let's jump in and talk a little bit about the features we're going to show you. The first thing we're going to show you is the photo capture tool inside of the Mobile Claims app. If you notice, my header says photos, no more transferring, no more typing. We really believe that you can save yourself a lot of time by taking your pictures directly into your claim. Eliminate that photo transfer and narration time. If you're like me, that's what we call the traditional double entry. That double entry means I take my photos out in the field, and then when I come back to my office, I then go ahead and take the time to take them off my flash card on my camera and pull them into my claim. That takes a lot of time. And guess what? The smartphones today, they've got excellent cameras. You can literally take pictures and add them into your estimate as you take them. And one of the best things is you can narrate the photos using your voice and the Siri or Android voice recognition. Man, I'm telling you, this is a really powerful way to save yourself a lot of time in the field. The second one is a feature inside of the Mobile Claims app that allows you to capture signatures on forms. If you notice the title said forms, who needs a printer and a pen? You can eliminate a tremendous amount of time having to print off, get signatures on printed forms, and then scanning them in. All of your company forms are going to bring and flow down to you to your Mobile Claims app on your smartphone or your tablet. The user can take a finger or a stylus and actually capture a signature for a form, and it will then save that form. The form becomes locked down upon the signature acceptance, and that is really powerful. And by the way, these electronic signatures are very legal and binding. Many, many companies have switched to this, and most companies and most legal documents will recognize an electronic signature, especially if you have this lockdown feature. So this is a powerful tool that we're really excited to show you today. The third, and definitely not the least, is MagicPlan. If you'll notice, we say MagicPlan, no tape, no problem. Well, MagicPlan was a special tool that we believe is going to save you a tremendous amount of time. It's built right into the Mobile Claims app, and it utilizes key components of your mobile device to help you calculate the dimensions of a room without ever pulling the tape off your belt. It was created specifically for smartphones and uses a mathematical formula. And this mathematical formula is used basically to calculate the measurements for a room. So for instance, it's going to use the height of the device, how high you're holding it. It's going to calculate that. It's going to use the angle that you're going to hold the device at. And then of course, it's going to use the direction that you're pointing. If you utilize this tool and you can take and drop cones in each of the corners of a room, it will calculate your dimensions for you. And this is a tremendous time-saving feature. And we're going to show you how to use this inside of the demonstration today. Now, with that as the background, one other thing, by the way, on MagicPlan, we have done a lot of testing with MagicPlan, and we have found that it saves anywhere from 8 to 10 minutes on a 4-room claim. And when I say that, we're talking about the time it takes to measure, the time it takes to diagram, and put that inside of your Mobile Claims tool. You can do that all with just a couple of taps on the screen. So, with that as the background, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and actually get into the demonstration. And again, if you have questions, make sure to get those to my friend Ken, and we will get you and answer those questions as we go. So let's go ahead and turn on the iPad so you can all see the iPad. Now this is what the Mobile Claims version on the iPad looks like. If you'll notice, it looks fairly similar to what you may have used in the past. It has the same login screen. What I'm going to do is I've already got my password typed in. I'm going to click Login. And what it does, it logs me in. Now, when you log into the first time you're going to log in, you're going to do a synchronize, and that will pull all your claims. And by the way, you use your existing login username and ID. You don't have to get a special one for this. And now you have your claims list. Well, I'm going to go click on the claim Stephen Moore, and I'm going to open up that claim on my system. It takes just a second to open up, and when you have this open, you will notice that you're going to have all the tools that you have on Mobile Claims for the PC available to you. We have the left side navigation, which has the Claim Explorer, and I can simply go down and click on anything I need to access and begin using these things. Now, the first thing I want to show you is the forms. If you'll notice, about 2/3 of the way down, you see where it says Forms. I can click on the plus sign, and all the forms that my company is utilizing, or even the company I'm working for if I'm an independent adjuster, are going to flow down. Now, I'm going to go here and click on an advanced payment request. And when I click on that report, it shows up in front of me. I see it, and there's certain fields that are actually editable. So for instance, I could click on the building allowance. I can click inside the area here, and I can type in a building allowance amount. Let's say we want to do that, $25,000. Now, at this point in time, since I've got that captured, if I wanted to get the insured signature on this, I can simply go down to the bottom where it says insured, and I can tap in that yellow rectangular space. And now a sign pad appears. Now they can simply take their picture or their finger, and they can go ahead and take their signature. And once it's done, they can click accept, and you'll notice the form now locks down, and there's no more places where they can edit it. It locks it down. If I were to go try to click again on the building advance, I'm notified that the form is not modifiable because it's been signed. If I wanted to, I could erase the signature, and then I could go ahead and modify it again, but of course then I would need to get another signature. So this is a really powerful tool. Any one of your forms that are designed to be able to to have a signature field or whatever, you can capture it this way. And again, you can use both your finger and stylus. Pretty nice feature. All right, let's go to our second feature, which is the photographs and taking digital photos and narrating photos with your iPad or your iPhone or your Android device. Right above the Forms area, we see the photos. We have a folder for their photos, and when I click on here, you can notice I've got a couple of photos already inside of here. I can kind of scroll down. I can see the pictures I've got. So I've got a couple different pictures here already. For me, I can either add pictures that I've already added to my iPad simply by going and clicking at the folder button at the top, or, and this is what we want to show you, we want to show you how you can capture pictures and narrate them live. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn my iPad and reorient it so I can take my pictures in more of a landscape mode. I click on the plus sign, and you'll notice now it brings me to my live camera. So what I can do is I can go up to the smoke detector, I can focus on it and hit the button. It takes the picture and it allows me to either retake or use that existing photo. If I click Use Photo, what it does is it brings the photo right into the claim that I'm working on, and now I can put the caption in. So let's do a caption. Smoke detector in master bedroom. You'll notice it went ahead and put in the text, smoke detector in master bedroom. I click OK. Not only do I have my picture in there, I have my narration done as well. And as most of you probably know, if you're using the Apple or even the Android, the voice recognition software is really strong and the accuracy is great. So if you are using this already for things like dialing numbers or doing text and stuff like that, the same technology can be used right inside of here. Again, a really powerful tool. Okay? All right, well, let's go back over here now and let's talk about MagicPlan and the MagicPlan integration, because this is the one that we get the most excited about because we see it has so much potential to positively impact the workflow for an adjuster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on my diagram. I have a floor plan already, and you can see I've got different rooms in this already. Now, typically, when you're diagramming on an iPad, you simply click at the top, the rectangle with the green plus sign, and you'll notice you have the different objects. Again, you're a mobile claims user, you already understand how this works. If I were to just create a regular room, I would click on it. It does a 10 by 10 room. Again, nothing different than what it already does inside of your mobile claims for PC. I can call it whatever I want. I'll say great room, and then I can use my finger to resize it and attach it. I can even go ahead and do vertex mode and do things like that. So same capabilities you would have if you were utilizing this in mobile claims. But what if we didn't have to get that measuring tape off of our belt? What if we decided to use MagicPlan? Well, again, clicking at the very top on the little rectangle with the green square or the green plus sign, there's an icon at the top right that has, it's kind of a blue background with a white house, and that's the MagicPlan icon. When I click on MagicPlan, what it does is it opens up my camera, and I now have a screen that has two options on each side. One is, it says Begin Door, and one says Corner. The way this is designed is it's designed for the user to stand in the center of the room and put that green vertical line and those two small kicker lines at the bottom right on the corner of, in this case, the corner of my room, and I tap it, and it drops a cone. And now I simply pivot, and I go over here. Now this is kind of interesting because you'll notice I can't see a clear corner, but because you can't see what I can see, I can actually notice to the right that I'm lining up the wall based upon that file cabinet, and I can drop that there. I can come over here and I come to my first door. Now I'm actually going to drop a cone at the door and complete the door opening. I then go to my corner over here. I drop a cone. I continue to pivot around. And of course, I have another door. So I'm going to drop a cone for that door there. And you'll notice even when the door is right in the corner, you can still do that. And I'll finally complete it by dropping a cone. And as soon as I complete that, my room is now in front of me. Now the room originally will pull in the first time. It'll pull directly into the MagicPlan. Again, MagicPlan is integrated directly into the Mobile Claims app. When you first come in here, you're allowed to go ahead and actually do a calibration. Because again, if you're a 6'7" person versus a 5'4" person, the distance that you're going to be holding your iPad from the floor might be a little bit different. So you do a calibration where you actually would measure the room exactly first with your tape, and then you'd measure with MagicPlan, and you would go calibrate it to put the actual measurements in. That way, you can get very accurate with this. In this case, what I'm going to say is I've already calibrated, so this is accurate. On the top left-hand corner is a button called Done. I tap on the Done button, and there's my room. It pulls it into here, and by the way, I can call it anything I want. So if I want to call this Master Bedroom, I simply call it Master Bedroom. I now have access to do anything I want to this. So for instance, what if I had a 10-foot ceiling on here? I could go ahead and change it to a 10-foot ceiling. What if, let's say I had some doors and windows in here? Well, I can go into the wall editor, and I can begin dropping doors, windows in. I can do all kinds of things like that. It just depends on how I want to do it. So again, you have access to do anything you want to it once you've got it pulled in. So that's the MagicPlan integration. Again, a tremendous amount of time savings, and the accuracy is there. A lot of questions are usually asked about how accurate is it. It's very accurate once you calibrate it and if you stay consistent with it. A couple other things, too, about the advances that MagicPlan is making. They are coming out with a new version that's actually going to be integrated in Mobile Claims that will give you the ability to not only shoot corners, but you can shoot ceiling corners. So instead, obviously you sometimes have furniture and things in the way, and it's a little harder to get a nice corner when you're working just off the floor. But the ceilings are typically nice and clear. So we're going to be implementing that fairly soon so you can shoot the corners, and also some other features that are going to be really advantageous when it comes to working with this. So with that, that's a good overview of the system. Let's go ahead and go to our final couple of slides here. Next question you might have is, well, this is pretty cool, Scott. Well, can we get started? How easy is it to get started? Well, it's super easy to get started. You'll notice you can download this version, either the Canadian or the US version, on either Google Play or the App Store for Apple. It's free to download. You can use, as I mentioned before, your existing Symbility login and synchronize feature. It is optimized, by the way, as most apps are. It's optimized for the iPhone 5, but it will work on some other ones. Now, the other thing is MagicPlan. Because there is a fee for MagicPlan, a transaction fee of $2 per claim, that means, by the way, you can measure 30, 40 rooms. We don't care, as long as it's just for the first claim, that one claim. What you have to do for this is if you are a single user account, meaning you're a credit card customer, typically an independent adjuster or an independent contractor, you can simply contact the Symbility account specialist. That number you can call them at is 866-647-1147, or you can email account.specialists@symbilitysolutions.com and simply tell them that you would like to have the MagicPlan feature activated for your account, and therefore when you download the iPhone or the Mobile Claims app for your smartphone, it will now have that turned on. If you are a company contract user, that's easy for you as well. You simply contact your Symbility account manager, or probably your claims manager or whoever is your supervisor. Tell them that you would like to have this and access this, and if it's not already a part of your contract, they can make sure that that happens. All right. Well, that's kind of the background. Those are the three primary features we wanted to show you. Ken, have any questions come in that we can go ahead and answer before we got a few minutes left before we have to shut things down?
Yes, we do, Scott. The first question that I have is, does MagicPlan work for roofs?
Yeah, no, MagicPlan is designed for interior rooms, so it would not be something that you would use on a roof. Good question.
And the next one that I have here is, does the mobile claims application save photos both to the device and to the claim?
No, when you're taking a picture live, just like we were there, so you're actually taking it live, it only saves it into the claim, so you don't add these photos unnecessarily to your camera roll in case of an iPad or an Apple device. So no, it won't save it there. But as I mentioned before during the demonstration, you could take pictures with your iPad and then pull them into an existing claim. You don't have to do that live if you do not want to.
Oh, great. That's nice flexibility.
Yes.
What if I'm trying to use MagicPlan to take those images of a room and I can't clearly see one of the corners?
Yeah, that's one of the things. As I did that demonstration, you notice there was that unit, furniture unit in the corner that did not allow me to see very clearly. Well, as I mentioned before, when you're holding the iPad, whereas you were only seeing the iPad, I could see the whole room. So because the lines go to the left and to the right, I can follow that line of where it was actually showing up on that file cabinet, and I could line that up where I saw the actual wall and floor convergent line right at the door. So you can actually just, again, you can look outside of your iPad and you can line that up. Obviously, the better lines that you can see, the more accurate it's going to be, but you can still use it even if you have a closed corner like that.
Okay. Is there somewhere that I can find a list of the smartphone features for Android?
Absolutely. You can go on to your Symbility support site. Most people have the Symbility support already set up at Symbility.net. You could go there or contact our training department or marketing department, and they can get you literature that can give you more information on this tool. There's also training tools, training videos that we have done for how to use the MagicPlan tool, and of course on a company-wide basis we can come in or do a remote training on this tool. It's very easy to learn. It's not a long training session, and most people can simply pick it up and begin clicking corners, and after they've done their first set of calibrations, they're off to the races.
That's great. The next question here is, do users have to be online to use the smartphone app?
Oh, absolutely not. It's just like they were using it on their iPad, or excuse me, their PC or laptop. You only have to be online to connect to be able to synchronize. So it's very similar to mobile claims for the PC. Once they've synchronized and they've received their claims, they can disconnect from the internet or wireless or whatever they're connected to, and they can work in a disconnected mode.
Oh, great. The next question here is, can I use the corners of the ceiling for MagicPlan?
Yeah, as I mentioned before, one of the new features where MagicPlan has coming is actually shooting the corners versus of the ceiling in the walls versus the floor. And that's going to be coming out fairly soon, and we'll have that integrated as soon as we can into this version. And it'll simply be part of the upgrade that you will get automatically as you normally do with mobile claims.
Wonderful.
Well, great.
The next question I've got is, can I scope my claim in the smartphone app and then synchronize and finish it on my PC?
That's an excellent question, Ken. This is actually the way a lot of our adjusters are starting to use this from the beginning. They are actually going out, downloading the claim, pulling it onto their smartphone, and they're using it for the initial scoping. They are taking pictures, they're doing their diagramming, they're capturing all that, doing their narration for their photos. They do a lot of that right there in the Lost site, And then if they might take some notes about what repairs need to be made, and they will then go ahead and synchronize, send that claim up in the release ownership, and then simply take ownership of that claim on their PC or their laptop. And once they've got it on there, they go ahead and finish up. So absolutely, you could use it for a field scoping device.
Great. And at this point, we have reached our 30-minute limit, so unfortunately we're going to have to halt the Q&A session here. But certainly, thank you for giving the presentation today, Scott. And
thank you.
And also, I'd like to extend a big thanks to everyone who attended today's webinar. Once again, if you have other questions, please do not hesitate to contact us at 866-647-1147 or email us at sales@symbilitysolutions.com. Thank you very much and have a great afternoon.